What's up everybody, Chad here for yet another Taco Tuesday. So today's video is going to be a little bit shorter because frankly there isn't too much to talk about. So, upcoming I will be having my third dealership service for the truck. That is 15,000 miles. You know, it's not a very involved service. They just go over, you know, the few points on the truck that, you know, should be looked at, such as boots on your drive shafts, lubrication, oil level. They're not going to change your oil, and they're going to be topping off your fluids and replacing filters and everything like that. So here shortly I'm going to give the dealership a call and, you know, get that set up and get that taken care of hopefully this week. I don't think they'll be too busy. So talking about the truck, yesterday I did get the opportunity to finally fill the bed of my truck with a good bit of weight and kind of level out the truck a bit and work these springs in the back a bit. So yesterday I loaded up about 3 water heaters in addition to some heavy flooring that we're going to be putting in a house, and I would say it got close to 400 pounds in the bed of the truck with the water heaters. There were 2 12-gallon water heaters, which aren't too heavy. They're about 40 pounds each. And then there was a bigger water heater that I believe was a 50-pound water heater, or 50-gallon, excuse me. And when I loaded those into the truck, in addition to the flooring and other additional items that I had in the truck, it probably got to be about 400 pounds. So driving that down the road, the truck felt like it was a totally different vehicle. It was loaded down here in the back, obviously, and leveled the truck out. And that contributed to a much nicer ride. And I don't know if any of you have loaded down your trucks yet, but these 3rd gen Tacomas really do drive really well with a lot of weight in the back. And you know, trucks for years have been known to drive nicer when there's a bit of weight in the back, and that's just how leaf-sprung solid axle trucks seem to drive. So I just wanted to tell you all my experience about that. And if you did come here after you had seen our Instagram post, you will see a picture of my truck with that stuff in the bed of. Now, speaking again about that 400 pounds that I was putting in the bed of the truck, that was actually only about 35% of the estimated payload rating for my particular configuration with the double cab long bed. The total amount of weight that Toyota says that you can put in the back here in the bed is 1,120 pounds. Now, I know I just said it could be in the bed of the truck. I think that may actually be total weight within the entire truck, so in the bed and in the cab. So if you have 4 people, you know, driving in the cab with you and a good bit of weight here in the back, you know, you can easily hit that estimated payload rating. And, you know, with all the people in the truck and, you know, with the weight in the bed, the truck actually still would seem to pull a good bit, because I did have my dad with me in the truck, and in addition to the 400 pounds in the bed, it did just fine. I didn't have any expectations of the truck feeling sluggish going up or down hills, even though for the most part I was driving around in town, not necessarily on the highways. So, you know, it does still do just fine. So as far as news goes this week, there isn't too much, but the biggest thing that you may have seen, it's been in news headlines all over the TV and in the newspaper and things like that, but there's been a Ford management shakeup. And what I mean by that is, if you don't already know, Mark Fields is no longer the president and CEO of Ford Motor Company. We just recently got word that Jim Hackett is actually the new CEO and president, and he came from a long line of, you know, churning around companies and kind of making them very profitable again. And, you know, after Ford Motor Company in the past 3 years with Mark Fields has seen a bit of a decline as far as their stocks go, and, you know, overall the company hasn't been doing as well as it has been in prior years. So, you know, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, having a new management, you know, come in, because sometimes some new fresh ideas, a new face, can actually really change the outlook of a company. And, you know, sometimes not even that is all that will change how a company is doing. Sometimes it's consumers like us that really, you know, change the outlook. You know, us as consumers, we are the ones who are, you know, buying these vehicles, taking them in and having them for however many years, whether that's through a lease or a traditional buy of the vehicle. You know, it's all dependent on us, and we are seeing a big change in vehicles, and I feel like in the next 10 years we're going to be seeing, you know, these autonomous cars that vehicles and their manufacturers are producing. So, let us know what you think about that, because, I think it's really interesting that we're going in the direction that we are after having, vehicles be such a big part of the American lifestyle and lifestyle all across the world. Vehicles are very, important to us, modes of transportation and things like that. We're seeing a lot more use of hybrid technology, not so much the diesel direction that we're hoping Toyota might go with this truck. We may more likely be seeing a hybrid powertrain of some sort come into the truck world before we think that we would normally be seeing it. The squeak is back. If any of you have any ideas of how we can possibly do any do-it-yourself things at home, I'd gladly appreciate them in the comment section below. I've tried different things through putting grease and lubrication in between the springs and cleaning them out, but it's still here. So I don't know if you all have seen this car before in our previous videos here at my garage, but this is my 1977 Triumph Spitfire. It's an absolute joy to drive, and the weather's not looking too good here, so I'm hoping that maybe I'll be able to, drive it around a little bit and stretch its legs, because I haven't really gotten to drive it in the past few months, and now that it's finally warming up, it's the perfect time for it. So thank you all very much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you next time.